The Bible is about a big a meta narrative, and that meta narrative is, if you like, is that a creator being has created a universe and has put into it creatures ourselves who are able in some way to relate to that creator being. But that, I mean, that's the meta narrative, and the more detailed elements are how that actually works out for in different parts of history, and how it's expressed in different forms of poetry, and what stories you tell to emphasize the meta narrative. So the stories may just be stories, but it's the meta-narrative that carries, if you like, the truth. So I don't myself believe that we should be looking for any form of scientific accuracy in the Bible. It was written long before the age of science, long before. And an example I like to give, showing how story is important, is Jesus' lovely parable about the mustard plant. And he talks about the mustard seed as being the smallest seed. But we know it's not. We absolutely know it's not. You know, the seeds of orchids are much tinier. It was a very small seed, surely. And he also talks about the mustard as growing to be like a tree where the birds can shelter in the branches. Now, I've seen mustard on the shores of the Sea of Galilee, and it is pretty tall. It's about 2 meters tall, but it isn't a tree. So there's Jesus employing the methods of Jewish storytelling to get over a bigger truth about what happens, how the kingdom can grow. And we can't use it as a botany textbook. We can't use it as a medical textbook. The person who wrote Psalm 139, "You knew me in my mother's womb," he didn't know that women produced eggs. And in fact, that wasn't known until the 18th century. Women were just thought of as gardens into which men planted seed. And so we have to interpret what the psalmist said about the womb in that context. So I think it's actually quite dangerous to try to say that the Bible is scientifically accurate. And I think it's doing the Bible a disservice, trying to kind of put it in that straitjacket.